Hi, it's Rick with Musicians Edition, and here to go over page 20 in the tenor saxophone book today. This page is different than most of the other pages in the book, so let's begin by discussing it. It is a solo for the tenor saxophone written with optional piano accompaniment. So if you know a piano player that can play this along with you, you can play the tenor saxophone part and they could play the piano part. So if you look at this page, there's the staff for the tenor saxophone music, and then it's kind of joined by a long bar with the piano music. So the piano music is the bottom two staffs, and the tenor saxophone is the top staff, and that's true of every line of the music. So as the tenor saxophonist, you will read this top line, and then you will go to this line, and then you will go to this line, and so on. The piano part is always the bottom two, here, and then the piano goes here, and then down at the bottom, okay? You will notice that, first of all, let's talk about the tenor saxophone line. We have a treble clef, and then we have a key signature of B flat. The piano part has a treble clef and a bass clef, and you'll notice that the key signature is different for the piano music. 3 flats. We have 1 flat. All right? This song begins with rests in the tenor saxophone part, a whole rest and then another whole rest. And if you look beneath that, this all goes together. So the piano is playing in the first 2 measures, but the tenor saxophone is not. And then when you get to the first double bar with a repeat sign facing this direction, that's when the tenor saxophone part starts, and the piano, as you can see, is still continuing to play. There is a repeat sign at the end of the first line, and so when you play this, the tenor saxophone plays from here to the end of the first ending, goes back here, plays up to here again, and then you would skip to ending number 2, which is down there, and then you continue on. Okay? Dynamics, slurs, ties. You also have an accidental here. An accidental is a change from a key signature. So there is a B natural to be played. Otherwise, the B flat is in the key signature, so all other Bs, unless they have a natural by them, or they're in the same measure with a natural, they should be played as B flat. All right. So this is a longer exercise than any of the other ones we've done. So I recommend working it in small sections. I would start with the first 4 measures and make sure you can play that well, and then go on to the second line. 4 or 6 or 8 measures at a time is a good way to practice. All right. So I will go ahead and play this for you with the metronome. I'm going to set the metronome at 60 beats per measure, or 60 beats per minute, which is a kind of a slower tempo, but good for a song like this. If you do decide to play it with a piano, make sure you give yourself time to learn it first, and then work it out with the piano player. But it works just as well. It's a good exercise to learn and play without piano. So I'm going to begin starting in measure 3. And you can see that above the 3rd measure, there is a number 3, a bigger number 3, with a square around it. That's a rehearsal marking. You'll also notice that every measure in this song is numbered. That's convenient. So if you're practicing with piano player, you can say, let's practice measure 10 and 11 again. And everybody can find measure 10 and 11 or any other spot in the song. All right, measure 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. That concludes page 20. Good luck with that. I'll see you next time.